It is 4 days in now and authorities are really urging residents to heed the evacuation warnings. Julia Bradley has been following an SES crew in Windsor in Sydney's northwest today. Julia, how's the river looking there now?
Well, Ash, the river level here is really the highest that we've seen it in some time. It's almost at 14 metres, and this is causing a whole lot of devastation for residents living along the Hawkesbury Nepean River. As you said, it's the worst flooding that the community of Windsor has seen in 40 years. Now, during this trying time, there are a number of community groups out and about trying to help residents, particularly those who have been cut off by floodwaters. Now, last hour, I was following an SES crew from Windsor over to Wilberforce, which is on the other side of the river. And I'm joined now by Margie, who's a volunteer for Hawkesbury Helping Hands, and also her granddaughter, Sienna. Now, what is the role of Hawkesbury Helping Hands?
To look after the underprivileged and the homeless.
And what does the organisation do? It's all about providing essential groceries and things like that?
Food and accommodation where they can and whatever is needed.
And Margie, I'll just get you to take me through here. So, Ash, this is a community hall that Hawkesbury Helping Hands are using. They're trying to get some of these essential groceries, non-perishables to people in need, and they're using a local community hub here in Wilberforce to do so. So what kinds of things, Margie, are in these?
This is a sample of what Coles have given to pack, and that's a sample of what Woolworths has got. Now, each bag sometimes is a little different, but basically it's sustainable food.
And how many people have you had to help over the last few days?
No, we've only started today. We've already sent 8 bags up to Upper Colo for people that we know are isolated. SES has organised that. Oh, wow. And they'll come back with us with lots of other requests.
And how are people doing at the moment? How are you guys going?
We're running on adrenaline, but it's something we like to do to help our neighbours and the community.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us.
That's okay.
We'll let you get back to it and we'll keep in touch.
Yes, thank you.
So, Ash, we're just about to head back on the SES boat. We're actually being taken back over to the other side of the river, so to Windsor. The SES are really urging people at the moment to heed all of those evacuation orders. There are about 100 SES volunteers on the ground at the moment, and there has been a request for even more as well. And earlier we spoke to one resident who's over in Windsor who's had her property damaged by these floods, and those are the kind of people that the SES volunteers are helping at the moment. Sarah, how long have you lived in this house?
Just over 12 months.
Have you ever seen it like this before?
No.
How quickly did the water come up last night?
It was really quickly in the early hours of the morning, so it was surprising.
What was going through your mind at that time?
I still was quite relaxed. I thought it's not going to come in. It's never been in this house before. This was my father-in-law's house. He built it, and it's in the 80s, so it's never been in before, and I was still quite relaxed, thinking, that still won't come in. And then it did.
The SES are doing such a crucial job at the moment. This flood disaster is continuing, and we are expecting even more rain to hit parts of New South Wales, a little bit further north though, I'm told. But the flood emergency is not going to be finishing anytime soon. The water levels are continuing to rise, particularly over at Windsor. And we've also heard that there was a hoax call made last night that soaked up a whole lot of SES resources.
Very disappointingly, we had a hoax last night of a person on a roof who was in need of a flood rescue, and it turned out to be a hoax. But what happens is, because it's to try and save a life, we target our resources and try and get out there to save that person, and it means we take them away from other areas. And we really had a lot of calls for assistance last night that were really important.
So more than 100 evacuation orders in place at the moment, more than 50 evacuation warnings. You can see really just how high that river level is and really the extent of the devastation in this community. We're just about to hop back on this SES boat and we'll get an even closer look at the devastation. Ash?
Yeah, heartbreaking scenes there. Julia Bradley live for us. Thank you for the update.